latest book, One Sunday at a Time. And the first line in the book is, what does crazy look like? Because that's the question I had asked myself in the mirror. And I meant it. Is this what crazy looks like? Am I crazy? And I just began researching bipolar and everything, because I was like, I wonder, are other women experiencing this? Are other women going through this, trying to do it all? And then one day you just lose it. One day you just snap. One day you just die. You gotta be careful who you share your testimony with. Sometimes it's not a testimony yet. Sometimes you just need to talk and you need to share, but you need to know who you share with, and when you're ready to share. Right. You have to be ready. If any of y'all be heading to Women's Day conferences at y'all's church, please be mindful when y'all pick the woman who is going to head and give the keynote speech, because some of them are not yet delivered. That's right. Some of them are survivors. Right. Because a lot of times we like to put survivors up here. That's right. Mm-hmm. I'm a survivor. I was once a survivor, but now I'm a striver. Mm-hmm. I have stories of abuse, of being in an abusive relationship, being raped, committing suicide, that I could tell everywhere I went. And I could cry and snot and boo-hoo, but honey, I'm thriving. Yeah. That was the survivor me. When I was surviving, that's how I would give it to you, but I don't own that no more. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that story. And I can tell you how I survived it and how now I'm thriving. Because sometimes they be up at the podium and they're still hurting. Yeah. And they're still bleeding all over you, and they're supposed to be encouraged. And I'll be looking around like, I thought I was supposed to be encouraged. I'm sad. What happened here? So we have to be careful with our stories and the testimonies and when it's time to share. But just this weekend alone, I have listened to so many other people tell my story. Tell my story. And I'm just sitting there in awe. But I got to the point in my life where I just remembered the day. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm asking myself in my prayer, it's time to do something about this. I'm breaking down. I'm losing it. This medicine cabinet is right here. I remember that dental surgery I got. And I remember those Percocets the dentist gave me that I didn't use because I don't like taking pills, because I know how it makes me feel, because I watched my mom and my dad nod my whole life off of pills and heroin. So I don't want to do that. But when I was in the pain with my tooth, I remember how good that Percocet made me feel. Ooh, whatever my kids asked, it was yes. Can we have pizza for breakfast? Yes. Mom, can I use your credit card to get this over? Yes. Ooh, I remember how it made me feel. And then I just said, if I'm to the point where I'm ready to take street drugs, not to fix a tooth pain, right, but an internal pain, something is wrong with my soul. And don't get it twisted. A spirit and a soul are two different things.
Yes, they are.
And a lot of us hold on to a lot of soul pains. Like with my mother passed last summer, July 14th. And she never had a happy day in her life. Never had a happy day in her life. And I just remember our childhood. I remember me and my sister fending for ourselves. I remember she had to be a go-go dancer at the strip club in order for us to eat. And I remember the bar didn't close till 3, so White Castle was the only restaurant still open, so we would get White Castle at 4 in the morning. That's when we would have dinner, if we had dinner, if she made enough money. And she would hide her money in her boots. But my dad was on heroin, so he knew her hiding place. And then she found this really, really, really neat hiding place where only we knew. This was my mom's hiding place. This is where she put her money, in the scene with the curtains. In the scene with the curtains. Because she realized he didn't care whether we ate or not. So if her babies would want to eat, this is where she had to put it. So when she wouldn't tell him where the hiding place was, I can remember him trying to shoot her. But the gun locked. So he just beat her with a pistol. And then I remember, well, if you're not going to give me your money, you're going to go make money. And I remember her driving to the neighboring towns to prostitute her so that the people in our local area wouldn't know, you know, he's prostituting his wife. He's putting his wife out there, because they were both heroin addicts. So that was the life that I lived. And so a lot of people read to escape. That's why I started writing, to escape from that. You guys remember when you had to keep those journals in school and the teacher would always say, okay, spring break's over, write about where you went. What trip did you go on? I'm like, the heroin trip my mom and dad went on. I don't think you want me to write about that, Miss Jenkins. So I began to make up places. I removed myself from my bedroom that I share with my sister and the house with no food. I removed all of that and I created whatever I wanted. I created the places. I created the beach because I would watch the beach blanket bingo movies. And they always went to Fort Lauderdale on spring break. And so that's where I went in my head. And so that's what I put on paper. And the teacher would love it. And Joy Lynn's going to stand up in front of class today and she's going to read you her journal entry. And I would just read it. And the kids loved it. They'd be hanging on. And then I'd read and read and read. And I'd be like, did I go to Fort Lauderdale? Or is this what a heroin trip feels like? That is when I realized the power of the pen. I could rule the world with that pen. And fortunately for me, that became my escape. Not the drugs, none of that. That pen became my escape. And that is why I picked the pen up, because I knew I could change me and I could change you. But again, during that process, I lost hold of everything and I was just trying to do too much. And a lot of women do that. I used to have this saying that expectations are killing us. So many women were committing suicide because of expectations. What other people expected of us. And we wanted to deliver. And that's how I found myself looking in the mirror that day, losing who I was. I would read posts and emails, and some people would just send me random cards in the mail. Joy Lynn, you are this, you did this to my life, you changed that into my life, you're such a giver, you're such, and I would read this stuff like, who are they talking about? Oh, you're just so sweet, and you're just, who are they talking about? Because when I realized, oh, my walls of Jericho, my home. It's easy to be a Christian out there. It's easy to be a Christian on social media. Y'all came up into my peace when I was going through this. But my walls of Jericho protected me. And I can remember when the show Mary Mary and Tina first started acting out. And people would be on Facebook, I'm never buying her music again. I can't believe she acts like that. I can't believe she does that. And I would say, well, woo. Guess they won't be buying my books no more. Because that's who I was becoming. Because I had so much I needed to let go of. I had to get my soul right. Now, I am not here to tell you that Jesus is a mind keeper. But God has resources. And if it's a therapist and a prescription, by God, you better take it. God has resources. That's right. Told me I have a book in me to write. I want you to look at this and see what God told me to write. I said, okay, I believe you. God told you to write a book, but he also provided you resources to get this thing right. That's right. He provides resources for you to get right. I told my sister everything, but not that. Not because I didn't want anybody to think I'm crazy. People think Ian Joy is this person, and I am. That is who I am. That is in me. That is genuine. But when so much is towering over me, I lost it. I completely lost. I didn't know who I was. That man I told you all about when I first got saved and first started writing 18 years ago, he's now my husband. Been together 9 years. Like I said, I shut it down for 9 months till he put a ring on it. But what I couldn't do in 9 years, God did in 9 months. 9 years of doing it wrong. It's all about getting it and being in the right place at the right time and doing the same thing it takes to get your man, to keep your man. I hear people say the same thing it took to get him, honey, is the same thing it takes prayer. And God will get it done. But you hear people try to quote Ruth, I'm just going to be like Ruth, and I'm going to wait on my Boaz. Honey, Ruth worked in the fields. I don't know how I got there. That was for somebody. Let me get that. But as an author, like I said, I write about what I know first. I research what I don't know, and I make up all the rest. And one of the 3 resources that I will use to prepare when I sit down and about to hear what the Holy Ghost is saying, I will record the CNN specials. I will record Law and Order, which would make my husband so mad to go in the key and see the Law and Order. He was like, are you really recording Law and Order? You can turn on any TV station, any hour of the day, and Law and Order is playing. Is the key really filled with Law and Order? And reality shows. I would record the reality shows, all of them that I could, except for the Bad Girls Club. I couldn't stomach that. God got a message for somebody in that show, somebody else got to give it. But I would watch them because everybody else is watching them. People have Facebook groups where they're going to talk about love and hip-hop after it airs, and I'm like, what is it? How do people say they're connecting to these cast members? What is it? Is it the ratchetness? It's the pain. Mm-hmm. It's the pain these people are revealing, because even when they're acting out, it derives from a pain back to the soul pains. They go through so much and they show us so much, and some of us even forget that we've been through it too. Nothing's new under the sun. The man having the babies, right? That's all in the Bible. There's nothing new under the sun that is taking place on reality show in reality. It's all happened. It's all been there. So I said, the pain. Romance is the #1 selling genre, and God got me writing about the complete polar opposite. Pain. The pain that the characters go through, how they deal with it, getting delivered, but most importantly, walking in that deliverance. That's where we have the hardest struggle, right. Walking in the deliverance. And then we began to question, did God really deliver me? I did this, I slipped up, I cussed, I drank. God really didn't deliver me. That means you're trying to tell God he wasn't powerful enough to do what he said he did.
That's right.
You were delivered, you just did not walk in it, but get back in that. And that's what I try to do in my work. So a lot of my books do deal with the pain, but I add a few little shenanigans because I don't want anybody to feel like being a Christian is just sad and it's just bad. Yes. But we have so much that we don't share and that we don't tell. And so I put everything about me in these books. So sometimes when I read the reviews, I cringe because they're talking about me. This character did this, said that. I'm so sick of her. She's so stupid. She need to give her life. She need to take 2 seats. That's who I used to be. So I'm okay with it. That's who I used to be, which is why I even wrote a book called I Ain't Me No More. It was actually supposed to be the first book of my Diva series, but I could not get it out. I could not get it out. I can write 3 books a year, ghostwrite 2, edit 4. But I couldn't get that book out. It took me 4 years to get that book, and I was like, God, what is wrong? I said, I'm trying to write I Ain't Me No More. It was supposed to be the first book in the series. What's going on? He said, you're still you. So a lot of times we have to recognize who we are and deal with that. And that's what led me to One Sunday at a Time. And I would like to read a prologue real quickly, if you guys don't mind. And this deals with my character, Deborah. Because in my New Day Diva series, what's great is that you can start anywhere in the series that you want. Because each book is about a different character. But what makes it a series is they all attend the same church. But they all have different issues, and God takes it to different levels. If I'm sitting there and I'm taking dictation, and this character had an abortion. And I'm like, God, another story about a woman whose abortion in her past is hunting her, and she's running from it. You know, can we do something different? And God's like, let me have this. So I just sit and I let him take control, and it becomes something different than just a woman who had an abortion, but a woman who was sitting in that abortion and claiming that she had an abortion while rubbing her belly and filling her baby, a late-term abortion, dealing with that. Molestation story. Okay, God, another person has to deal with the molestation stories of their past. This one went to a whole nother level. She's being molested by her brother. The parents find out. They want to protect both their children. They fake a divorce. This one moves here, this one moves there until they're of age. And then when the children are fine and separate off on their own, they get back together. That's how they saw themselves protected. I call them soap operas in print. because they're full of drama and they are totally addictive. And they, at the same time, minister to you when you don't even know you're being ministered